guys, all right, we were just doing a little story on a classic.
A real quick.
And a real quick on a classic is this guy. I wanted to I don't know, that's what I've been feeling. I always bring out bags that I feel. And this is a classic for us. This is the original Parker bag, and it just has gotten a little better with little tiny tweaks here and there. But the original is just this beautiful, beautiful piece of leather that we've chosen. And it just, this beautiful color. And I love the white stitching on it. I think that's what makes it really unique and really special. And it really takes a steady hand because it's easier to do color on color, I think, when it comes to thread because there's a little bit of leeway. But when it comes to white, you got to have a very steady hand to do this. I love our, this is our classic shape, which I think we've taken this shape, and it's kind of like something that I feel like we have taken first with the Parker bag, and with the Charlie bag, we kind of took the shape and made it a little bit more fun in a weird way. So this is the gray suede Charlie bag, you see?
Yeah.
It is sort of the same saddle shape, which I love, and it's just a different take on it.
Sassy angle.
The sassy angle, but it's the same. And I feel like it's one of those things where we take what we do and we kind of bring it so that it all kind of threads together. And I feel like that's what we kind of did when I was thinking about doing this Charlie bag. And we were like, how do we bring other, our other bags into this, and so my whole thing was I wanted to make it a floppy Mimi bag or floppy Parker bag, but we needed to bring the essence of some of our bags into this, and that's where I think when we were playing with it, I was asking if we could take this guy and somehow play with it and move it into here. So you can see that it sort of kind of has a good, I feel like good stories always have to be threaded together. So I feel like what we're doing here is we introduce bags, but sometimes we have to thread the story together. And it's year after year after year. So this came first, and then now this is the next one. And I don't know, what is the next one after this? Not so sure, but I feel like that is a common theme that has to kind of go throughout to make a brand really special, because the pieces that you own should all kind of work together, and there should be a reason for it, and there should be a story that is told with it. And so I feel like that's why this is so special. And I always love, when people ask me, what do I pair with this? I always go back to the green and red, because I feel like this bag deserves a really classic color to go with it. And then you could jazz it up a bit. I added the beads to it. I thought that was really fun. I love the feel of the beads. They're nice and heavy, and not too heavy, but it has a nice feel to it. And I love the green. It really kind of goes with it. And so it's just kind of a great, great bag for every day. And it will just really live in your closet and get better with time. And it's one of those where you just pull it out, and it's just like, oh, this is the bag that it's like your favorite shoes. And you just keep taking care of it, keep repairing it as you go. Like I've got loafers that are like 20 or 30 years old. My Belgian loafers, I've had around forever, and it's just, you got to repair it. You have to take care of it. And then you could just pull them out and they're just so good. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is one of those bags. We had so much fun yesterday with the pesto pasta, Matt. How fun was that?
That was great.
That was so fun.
And then we got to eat it.
Yeah, we haven't done one of those in a long time. And and Isaac Mizrahi, oh my God, I almost died. He responded and he said, there is garlic in my pesto pasta. And I said, yes. He didn't see the part that it's in his oil. So when you put the pasta back into the pan, when you saute the garlic with the chili pepper, yes, there's garlic there. So then you put that in there. And so it's just really fun. I was like, yes, we do. Yes, you're right. So definitely that's there. But the new technique we used, and I'm still thinking about it, you could use in anything, which is the Danny Myers. It's such brilliant technique.
It's really cool.
So when you go to take the pasta out of the strainer with the hot stuff, obviously keep some of the water aside. But I could not believe how tasty that was. So you take the pasta, it's hot.
Cheese.
Yeah, so you drained it, and then you pepper it, and then you pre-cheese it with a lot of cheese, mix it up. And then there's also still going to be some water that you should catch underneath, and that has the cheesy and the pasta water with the salt and the pepper, and then you can pour that back into your pasta. Delicious.
And don't worry
that's
if you
like
pour
gold.
too much, you can just let it simmer down.
Yes, and that's like gold. It's so good. So anyways, that was so much fun. We'll do more of those. What else is going on? Oh, okay. All my friends told me to watch Presumed Innocent. Matt sort of kind of watched it in and out. Like I kind of just filled you in.
I just wasn't in the mood for that type of show, but I checked in.
It was so good, so good. So that was awesome. So if there's any other shows, I think there's one on Netflix that Allison, my friend, told me about. It's Jason Bateman, and it's the same storyline where he's presumed innocent, but we're not sure. But Jason, it's even darker.
It's
so
Jason.
yeah. So anyways, I love Jason Bateman. That show is my favorite show. Smartless.
Yeah.
How much do you love that show?
That's really good.
It's so good. It's so good. They're so funny, and they're just so good. And I don't know. Every day it makes me laugh. It makes me really happy.
I think if you were a child of the '80s, like we were, if you saw and liked Time Bandits, that movie back then,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
may
you
like
like-
the
yeah.
show, but your kids may like the show.
That's true. That's true.
It's on
That's a
Apple.
good one. That's an Apple one.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow's
There's some really
in it,
good
but-
shows coming
And
up.
it's done by the Flight of the Conchord guys. So it's
Yeah,
fun.
that's funny.
Yeah.
So, anyways, those are good. Lots of asks on what jeans I wear. I'm
Oh,
gonna
and
tell
there's
you.
Also, that thing we watched, the Beach Cottages.
Yeah, that was really good. So
Only
we.
like
it's-
10 minutes long.
What was it on Max? HBO Max,
yes,
I think.
Yes.
It was on beach cottages, 10 minutes of people's beach cottages. I love that show. That was really
Cool.
good. So if you're looking for like a moment of zen, just put on any of those for 10 minutes and it's so good, right? Oh gosh, I've got something stuck on me. Okay, jeans.
You got tortilla.
Most of my jeans, I'm a big jeans collector. Okay, we just had a breakthrough, Matt. Remember we were watching that show on Booksellers?
Yes.
And halfway, so it's about people in New York who are very serious booksellers, right?
Yeah. Traditional book trade.
Yes, and you know they're the ones where you go to the armory and they have their booth. But then halfway through the show, I turn to Matt and I'm like, I think I'm a bookseller, but not books, but clothes, because it's the same thing where, you know, I think you have your foundation of books that you've collected throughout the years, and it's the breadth of them. And like I'm at the point in my life now where I feel like I have a pretty good base built up. And now every day when I go out there to look for things, it's those little kind of like special novelty books I'm looking for. And I think that's what's so interesting. That I was like, that's what a great collection of bags or a great collection of clothing that you have. For people like me, it's almost like an art collection. And I really collect it. And so for me, the foundation of my collection are jeans. I'm obsessed with jeans. And like, I don't
You've always
even...
been that way? You always love jeans?
I've always loved jeans. And I think it's because I feel like jeans is such a great medium. It's such a great medium in terms of you could dress it up and you could dress it down. And somehow it really works. The correct type of jeans. And I think it's the correct type of color. And every jean is different. And like sometimes you look at my closet and they're like, whoa, you're a jean hoarder. But I could tell you exactly.
No, we now know you are a collector.
I'm a collector. Yes.
And this is why you vibed with the Comic-Cons and all these other
yeah,
collectors.
anyone who collects. I don't care what they collect.
Because
Yeah.
you're a collector. That's like Iris Apfel. She was a collector.
Yes. And Matt is a collector of books.
Yeah.
Like he's a collector of books. But his books are virtual, which is kind of weird.
That's a different
because
conversation.
I can't touch it. And it's weird to me because I would really like to see and touch them, but I guess there's no space
No,
for them.
because when we had them, then you didn't like the fact that
I know. I think we need to build you a room.
Yes.
So then you could have them so they're tangible because
I-
it's kind of,
obviously prefer that.
yeah. So I think that's what we should do. Like when we're retired, I think I'll have a tangible closet and a tangible bookshelf for the two. And that's why Matt and I get along so well because we like collecting. Anyways, whatever. So back to the jeans. It always looks the same, but my favorite to collect are always Levi's 501s, vintage 501s. That's my favorite. Or 550s, those are my favorite. Any vintage Levi's. And they may be just a subtle difference in terms of how it's cut or the length, and it's because it's based on what I'm wearing on top. So it sounds weird, but sometimes if you're wearing a big jacket, then you need a cut that's a little different, that's appropriate for whatever you're wearing for your body that you're wearing on top. If you're wearing a shirt that's pretty tight, then you need a different cut than if you're wearing a big sweater. So, but then they look like the same jeans, but they're all different. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, so foundation is always jeans. And then I love great shirts. And I just think it's like it goes back to the classics, collecting all the classics. I love old LL Bean sweaters, so I collect those a lot. So those are my novelty things now. Like I have the basic really good ones, but sometimes there's some really great novelty ones from the 80s that when you see them, you're like, I have to have it, you know? So I think those are great. So there's just really like now I'm just into things where it's like the novelty stuff. and then always like adding on to the great foundation. And then shoes wise, you know, it's so funny because we had to clean out my closet, and I think, I don't know, it goes back to classics, right? And it's like I've got shoes from 20 or 30 years, and they're always my Belgian loafers, my Gucci loafers, my Bass Weegens. It's always those classics, that my old Stan Smiths, like those are the ones that I, you know, Tree
Those are the ones
Torns.
that continue to make the cut.
Yeah, and then all the other ones which were fun for that season, they were out, you know. But I collect them, and I find myself collecting those. So, anyways, it's really fascinating. Anyways, that's my.
So the golden goose won't make it to the long run, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, but fun for that time, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's what's going on, and food for thought. It's weird, but it's true, right?
Collector.
Collectors.
I
Okay.
like it.
Bye, guys.